Good evening. I'm certified broadcast meteorologist Erika with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. I wanted to hop on and start giving you some really good updates due to that area of low pressure that's developing over the southern high plains. That is bringing us a few strong storms. I don't see anything tornadic just yet. I do think we'll see a few later tonight through the early morning hours and certainly for your Monday. We're going to go through that together, but I certainly wanted to keep you updated on everything that we're seeing across the nation. There's a lot of weather to go over, so I am excited that you're spending your time with me right here at Weather Co-op, where weather meets community, guys. Where do we begin? So we have some winter weather looming, of course, right? As we start to change seasons, as we're kind of just towards the middle, I say end of November, I'm already doing Thanksgiving forecasts for clients. It's kind of crazy. And if you want your personalized forecast, feel free to DM me or send us a message at weathercoop.com. Let's see, social at weathercoop.com, Eric at weathercoop.com, and we'll get you some updates there. But we're seeing a few storm systems moving in. So let me just quickly hover between a few of my products here. Right here, you're having a 2-hour sat-rad loop, including alerts look. And remember, this is Central Standard Time, and this is your 2-hour look over this here. What I did was I added our satellite loop, and I believe it's an IR, global IR at 4 kilometers. And then I included, instead of a sweeping radar, I just included our 5-type precip mosaic 1 kilometer, 5 minutes. Okay. So I say that because I want you guys to know exactly what you're working with when you're working with me here. How do I say this? You can go somewhere else, but I'm going to give you the most accurate forecast because it's what I do all day, all night. All right. So as we take a look at a couple of identifiers here, we're also looking at the wind profile. You all know how much I love showing you the winds at 850, at 700, at 500, up through the jet stream right now, about 300 millibars. I'm still looking at 200 and 250. That's okay. But generally speaking, this time of the year, we're looking into that 300 millibar range. But right now, you have an overlay of several alerts that have been issued by the National Weather Service. I wanted to be sure I included that there because you're going to see here that we have that storm system that's developing over the southern high plains, right? And when I now add some of the storms that are moving through that region, you can see that we're getting some hail. So we do have some hail reports. We certainly have some updraft reports. And these storms in particular that are moving through parts of Oklahoma, in and along Arklatex, you can see that these are anywhere between that Titan impact range of about 2.2 to about 5.0. And then we're going to start looking at those stronger ones. That's not going to be for another couple of hours. So we have that area of low pressure that's developing right over the southern high plains. There is going to be this tendency for this low to migrate northeastward. And there's also a trough that's associated with this, which pretty much just allows it to be more amplified and disruptive, if you will, in the atmosphere. Remember, we got your low, which is your actual area of low pressure, identified with a central low pressure right now at 991 millibars. So about 991, 992 millibars. Then you get that elongated area of low pressure or that trough that's just going to develop right over that. And then we have that frontal boundary that's going to sweep on through from the southwest up and across the middle of the nation. And then there's going to be a reinforced cold front behind that. There is so much great weather going on. It's just exciting times around here. Beautiful day over here in Connecticut. Hi. Hi, my fellow nutmegger. My fellow nutmegger, thank you so much. And thank you so much for being a great weather watcher, by the way, Dave. We're going to upstart that or start that again. We're upcycling the whole concept, and we're going to kick that off just in time for Thanksgiving. So I'm excited about that. So please feel free to send your videos and images. And yes, there is actually pay. Can you believe it? Excited about that. Okay. So, we'll talk about that in a little bit. If you want to be a weather watcher, an official vetted weather watcher, you'll have to fill out some paperwork, but I'm excited about that. We're starting that up again only because now I've got like this much time, maybe this much time. You guys know I hate free time, right? You know that. It's like, how is there free time? No, no, no. You can do something with that free time. You can put work or passion and love into it. You guys know that, right? So I'm excited about that. I can't wait till we adopt our kids. I don't know if you guys know, we're like super excited about that process. It's a long process, but we're super pumped. And I feel like we're gonna have little meteorologists. Like, I'm so excited. Anyways, guys, we are watching that area of low pressure, as you can see here, building over the southern high plains. You can see that cold front sweeping in. Look at that Gulf moisture, okay? Do you see how everything is really coming into play for an active couple of hours? Definitely an active couple of maybe 24, 36 hours. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead one graphic and then we're going to go back. So here we see our slight risk through day one. Do you see that hatching with the enhanced numerous severe storms possible? That area is going to be of interest, especially over the next couple of hours, okay? But I don't want you to worry too much about that right now because we'll be on tracking together in real time. In the meantime, I want you to take a look at what's happening right now in real time, including all of that precip that's moving through portions of the southern plains, southern high plains into portions of the central plains. You can see how quickly this is all moving, right? Let's look at some rainfall rates. We have a flood watch that's been issued, remains in effect until 6 p.m. local time. Flooding caused by excessive rainfall continues to be possible. Have we had any reports? There's nothing that's radar indicated, but we are seeing a lot of rain. And with the development of that upper level trough, that's likely going to enhance the production of rain. I personally, when I'm storm chasing, that is the one thing that my husband can attest to. I never, ever play around with floods. You know, when you're talking about turn around, don't drown type of deal, when it comes to flooding, again, as my husband is my witness, I never go into a flooded area. I mean, and I always, you guys know, 185, over 185,000 miles of tornado chasing under my belt. I never go into a flooded area, okay? We're also working on some flood alert project. Super excited. All right, so we have that flood watch that has been issued. Rainfall rate 1/100th of an inch per hour. Maybe that's not too impressive, but just we're getting started here. Okay. Remember, we've got that area low pressure that's developing. It's set about what I say 991, 992 millibars. Then we have that elongated area of low pressure at the upper levels. And if I kind of zoom in just a little bit right around here, let's start focusing in on some cities. Okay. Lubbock, hello to you in Lubbock. All right, if you have family members, oh, this is setting up very nicely. Could we be tracking a QLCS? We maybe. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these right here. All right, we're seeing at point 0.02, like 200ths to, was it 3200ths of an inch of rainfall rate per hour. And if I actually pause this and stop this right now, let me see what this gives me. I'm going to customize this. I'm going to pause this, okay? Right now. Yep, 0.32 inches. So you can see that as that low really develops and that cold front starts to swing on through and you get all of these different identifiers in the atmosphere, including that trough, there we go. And we're actually tapping into that moisture in the Gulf. So there's a lot of reasons here for a lot of rainfall and for some stronger storms to develop over the next couple of hours. So you join me right here at Weather Co-op and track this with me because it's getting good around here. All right, I've got my coffee. I've got my agua, cappuccino. Sell. We're good. All right. By the way, Chloe is not with me today. She is on vacation in New England. She is a New England pup, and she's from South Philly. She's a Philly pup. But she really does love the greenery. She loves just the action that's going on out there. She just runs wild across New England. If you find that little skipper key, tell her I love her and I miss her. But look at this line right here. I actually might have Jay Dubensky hop on with me soon enough. I pause this at now, right? I'm gonna go back to my 2-hour loop. You guys remember that we have it set at every half hour. Before, when we were at CDT, I had us at every hour loop, but now we're doing every half hour, still a 2-hour loop nonetheless. Let's go ahead and put this into play. Yeah, these storms are forming very nicely. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a tornado watch issued soon. Let's see what these storms look like. Let's track these. Okay. We're going to go to those storm reports as well. but not right now. We want to focus on what's happening in real time. Okay. Yep. We're definitely getting some hail. Those look like good size hail. We're starting to get some rotation. All right. So bear with me as we track this together in real time. I've got nothing but time, simply because I'm working on these holiday forecasts. Because you know what happens, guys? Tell me. Okay. So I can actually look at my Instagram questions. Do you guys, when you're like flying for the holidays, do you ever hear like, sorry, we can't travel or the plane can't take off due to the weather? How many of you think that that's a true statement 100% of the time? How many of you think it's a true statement 50% of the time? How many of you think it's a true statement maybe 10, 15% of the time? But if they were watching Weather Co-op, it wouldn't be, maybe it'd be at 2%, 2 to 4%. To be fair, 2 to 5%, maybe. That's if I was sleeping one day. But yeah, we are definitely excited about this because there's a lot to go over. So the reason I'm already working on those holiday casts is because people are like, Erica, am I going to be able to travel? For example, I have a lot of family in Puerto Rico. And some of my cousins, some of my aunts are like, can we go to Florida? Can we get to Florida to get to Puerto Rico? Because they're all converging there. And of course, I've got to keep them updated. Wind advisory has been issued. I mean, this has been issued for quite some time here, but let's focus on what this is saying. Wind advisory in effect from 2 a.m. Mountain time or 3 a.m. local time until 8 p.m. or Mountain time, 9 p.m. Central. Okay, they're giving us a lot of time zones here. So again, we're just going to go with Central time right now. And whenever you see me go over the Great Basin, whenever you see me go over the Intermountain West, whenever you see me go into the East Coast, I'll then give you the designated time zone. All right, so we are going to have very gusty conditions. Gusty winds may blow around unsecured objects. High profile vehicles are always something I'm really concerned about. I don't see that here, but I'm saying that high profile vehicles could be a concern in any situation, especially when we're talking about gusty winds. These are very interesting storms that we're going to keep on watching. All right, we have our flood watches have been issued as well. This is definitely some winter weather advisory. You guys are definitely going to get some good snow across the southern high plains. Oh my gosh, just wait for it. You're going to get a lot of snow and you're going to get a really gusty wind or two. So please be advised. So additional snow, winter weather advisory remains in effect until 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Additional snow accumulations of 3 to 6 inches, mainly above 8,000 feet. 8 inches above 9,000. Gusts could be as strong as 40, 50 miles an hour. Sacramento mountain ranges above 7,500 feet. And southern Gila regions, Highland Black Range until 8 a.m. MST. So just keep that in mind. We have some coastal flood advisories here along the Gulf states. That's a flood watch, but here's your coastal flood advisory. And we're looking at the first coastal flood advisory, minor coastal flooding expected. Mobile, Central, and Baldwin Central counties. So this is just up and along the Gulf, okay? So in addition to what's happening with that area of low pressure, in addition to that trough, in addition to that cold front just getting ready to ramp up, we're tapping into that moisture in the Gulf. And that's just given us a really active night across the southern plains, southern high plains, the Gulf states, up and along Arklatex, into portions of the Mississippi Valley, Southern Ohio Valley, portions of the Tennessee Valley. You guys, there's a lot of weather going on here, and we are here for it always and forever. Okay. So look at that little guy. Look at this storm right here. This storm cell, as I told you, they're moving fast, right? So what's going to end up happening over the next couple of minutes is I'm going to watch for some stronger signatures that could denote potential tornado watch. Not going to be surprised if we see it soon enough. Okay, just wait for it. Wait with me right here. I do think we'll see those soon enough. We'll keep an eye out for that. And then we're going to move it along up and around the CONUS, contiguous U.S. All right. Okay, so what else do we have here? Some more flood watches issued by the National Weather Service. These are definitely some wind advisories we see up here. So we have a high wind watch. And this is going to be in effect from Tuesday morning through Wednesday. Let's see who is included. Gosh, several counties. Portions of the Cheyenne River, Jackson County, portions of the Pine Ridge Reservation, Mellett, Todd counties, portions of the Rosebud Reservation. Never heard that one. Northern Perkins, Bennett, Tripp, and Southern Jackson. You know when you don't expect to read something, you're like, "Whoa, Rosebud County." Okay. Um, so yes, so we are definitely keeping an eye out for that. It's like just up and along Dakotas into the Central Plains, and then of course the Great Plains, Midwest. Everybody's going to start getting some active weather, and we are definitely seeing Missouri starting to get something. Arkansas, we're watching all of you right now, and we're excited about the fact that you are allowing us to provide you with your unique forecast for your community. Remember, Weather Co-op is where weather meets community, guys. And we have another high wind watch. It has been issued. And you know what? This is absolutely going to be the case over the next several hours. The Intermountain West. Some are saying northern Intermountain West. I'm just including the Intermountain West. I'm including parts of the Great Basin, which is parts of the Intermountain West. They all just run into each other and then into the Pacific Northwest as we track that frontal boundary that's going to dive down with that associated low. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hop on to another graphic very quickly. I already showed you this one, right? We'll get back to this, which included our hatching for the thunderstorm potential, marginal thunderstorm, slight risk, or an enhanced risk. But now we're going to go into our hour by hour forecast. Do you guys know why I'm going to this hour by hour forecast? Because we're not that far off from Thanksgiving. And in fact, I'm looking at some very interesting temperatures. You'd be surprised. Some of you are going to get abnormally warm conditions. Okay. But the reason I'm looking is because some of you are already planning, right? You're like, I want to get there a week ahead, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days ahead. And I'm like you. I don't love to travel unless I'm in a car. Like, I just like to drive. I'm a driver. I love driving. I can drive forever. But I don't like flying, not because I'm scared to fly. Like, turbulence is fine for me. I just don't like the fiasco that it is. It's always a thing. It's like, it's just a thing. It's a thing since, you know, I'm Gen X, so ever since like the early 2000s, it just hasn't been the same. I mean, not that anything is the same, but you know, holla back when I get a private jet. Right now, it's not in the budget, so your girl's flying commercial, which is fine. I just don't love the extras. Although I do fly with Clear, I do Clear. Like that was one of the gifts I bought my husband and I a couple years ago, and ever since then, I've never not had Clear. Everybody's really nice, but still, I just rather drive there. Like, I don't care how far it is. But anyways, let's go back. All right, so we're going to be tracking this storm system that's diving on down from the Aleutian Islands. The Aleutian Islands, right? That's coming down. Associated cold front, right? But what are we tracking, guys? Look what's happening right now, 7 p.m. CST. We're tracking this area of low pressure that's developing over the southern high plains. There is also an associated cold front and an elongated area of low pressure higher up in the atmosphere. Why is that important? Because when you put that all together, we've got active weather looming over the next couple of days, and you're going to see the hatched areas. So tonight, we're going to be tracking that area, southern plains, central plains, into the maybe central Mississippi Valley, portions of the Ohio Valley. That's going to be a story for tonight. We're going to track that for the next couple of hours. But as you see here, and I toggle this over for the next several hours, this is going to be 120 hours out, okay? 120 hours out. And I do believe I have layered the ECMWF, and I think I left it at 9 kilometer resolution. Okay. So that's a European model at 9 kilometers, I believe. I can go back and check it, but I won't do that right now. I'm pretty sure. Okay. So here you're seeing all of that cold air filtering in. Look at those northwesterly winds making it into parts of California, actually all of California, into the Great Basin, Pacific Northwest, the Great Plains. We are looking at a lot of snow moving into the region. Okay. At the same time, look what happens with that storm system that's sitting and developing and becoming a lot more bold and robust over the southern high plains. It's starting to move up and across, as I said, the Mississippi Valley, Ohio Valley, and into the Tennessee Valley. There you go, into the Appalachians. And there we have more weather. And look what happens here. By overnight Monday into early Tuesday, what are we seeing there? You guys, we are seeing the threat of some really strong storms, possible tornadoes into the afternoon hours. So it looks like I will be sitting here on Monday night into Tuesday morning, really, and we're going to be tracking portions of the Florida Panhandle, Alabama. This is where I'm going to be focused on. Why? There's your cold front. Do you see that right there swinging through? Remember, the cold front is a very disruptive feature. Doesn't like it. But then behind that, we're going to get this extra punch of cold air. That's going to just enhance everything. And you're going to see that this is going to be a quite active start to your work week. All right. So get ready. Get ready, southern states. Get ready for some active weather up and along the Piedmonts, Appalachians, Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley, the goodies. There you go. That's what you're going to see there. But of course, we're gonna track that together. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of a heads up because one of my pet peeves is when you guys don't have enough time to prepare. I want to make sure that you guys are always prepared. All right. And then a lot of rain. And so don't be surprised here along Florida, the mid-Atlantic, up into portions of the Northeast. We're going to see some rain making it there by Friday. What I did was I tilted that graphic a little too much. If you can see here, you might notice that you're getting a look at what's happening with Sarah, right? So again, we didn't expect Sarah to do much, but we still have to respect that Sarah is did impact a lot of people. Unfortunately, Honduras, my gosh, Belize. I believe the name is going to be retired. Okay. Because there was a lot of devastation. So now Sarah is allowing us to tap into some moisture, right? So if we go back just a little bit, guys, look what happens. I'm hoping you guys can see this, okay? Do you see how we are tapping? Now, so here's the deal. Sarah is a TD now, right? She's a tropical depression. She's fallen apart. Didn't think she was really going to make it simply because she did not follow the path of least resistance. She was swimming pretty much upstream the entire time. But we're still tapping into that moisture. And so there's still a hearty and a robust amount of moisture in the Gulf. That's no surprise, right? But what I did was I wanted to tilt it. So I almost tilted it too much for you. So you guys in the mid-Atlantic northward, you guys are like, this is great, Erika, but I can't see what's happening here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adjust this the next time we meet up. But for right now, I wanted you guys to have this and keep this in mind. Okay. So we're going to go back to let's go into day 2. We talked about how we were going to see some more storms moving through parts of the nation, especially for maybe the Florida Panhandle, Alabama. Give it a time. Problem ever sharing transparency with you all, and that's exactly what we're doing right here. So, do you see here on day 2? In fact, let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to drag day 1 into right before day 2 here. Okay. And then we're going to go back. We're going to follow these together. Give me a moment as I dump this here. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Oh, wait here. Also, you guys know I'm like super petite. I'm 5'1". I'm sitting on Chloe's little bed. All right. Nothing but transparency around here. All right. Nice and comfy too. Okay. So again, we talked about we were expecting over the next couple of hours here across the southern high plains and through portions of Arklatex, portions of like the Midwest. Through tomorrow, look what happens as that area of low pressure continues to migrate and just move across the Mississippi Valley, up and along the Mississippi Valley into the southern Ohio Valley, into the Tennessee Valley. Look what happens here. That hatching expands. We're looking at thunderstorms. No severe thunderstorms, but I'm going to go ahead and say we may see some severe thunderstorms, and we'll talk about that in just one moment. Still, this is a Storm Prediction Center. To me, hands down, some of the smartest meteorologists in the world. You all know how much I love Jared Geyer, who to me is like the best meteorologist on the planet. I don't know. I might be third. Like Reed Timmer, right? And then there's like Jared Geyer, and then there's me. And then there's everybody else. So I would say, yeah, I think that'd be great. That's probably where I would rank myself. But definitely those two, it's like, okay. All right. So he's, of course, working on these updates at the Storm Prediction Center in OU. And so as we move this to day 3, do you see how everything starts to migrate eastward? Not a big surprise there, right? Because that's exactly what we were talking about. We were saying there's that storm system diving down into the Pacific Northwest. And then there's like that other storm system that's developing over the southern high plains. And then we're watching those cold fronts, right? So I'm glad that you guys are joining me here. Wait, I almost got stuck in Florida last month during Hurricane. Yes. Yes. Now, my question to you, Dave, is why? Why do you feel like you got your alerts early enough? Probably not. Right? Right? Isn't that something that we think Vivek and Elon are going to work on? Yeah. All right. So, yeah, we're looking at our marginal risks here. Really just kind of, I don't know, including portions of Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi. Yeah. But I still think we should keep an eye out for it overall. I don't ever like to generalize these things. I like to keep an eye out and say, all right, we have all of these features, right? These signature features. We understand what could happen, but let's work together to see what could happen because it's always like you have to be so ahead of the weather. Like, you know when they say ahead of the storm and it's like the cheesiest line, it's right up there with turn around, don't drown. But it's true. You know what I mean? It's like, let's face it, guys. I'm gonna be transparent with you. Meteorologists are cheesy. We just are. We're cornballs. We're like the corny people that were like the cornballs in the back of the class that were like, whatever. So yeah, That's us. I don't take myself that seriously, and nor do I think any meteorologist should they. Like, because when you think about the significance of who you are when it comes to like a storm cell, a supercell, let's say you're like this big, okay? You're teeny weeny. Okay, so meteorologists don't take themselves that seriously because seriously, you are just at the mercy of nature. Of course, your job is to be ahead of the storm, to be ahead of all of those weather elements, but you can only do your best. And in this case, I like to present you with at least a 3-day outlook. I'm going to give you guys a long range outlook, especially because of your pre-Thanksgiving travel plans, maybe your Thanksgiving plans, post-Thanksgiving plans. I'm going to give you guys an update there, but I want to give you guys the immediate updates. Let's focus on our temperatures right now. Let's see what we're looking at here. What are we working with? Okay, Corpus Christi, 79 degrees, 77 for Houston, Dallas, 71, Oklahoma City, 65, Wichita, 55, Kansas City, 58, Thermopolis, 33. Look at that cold front. 42 for Salt Lake City, 44 for Boise. It's setting up everything for the surface. Reading, 48, Dallas at 42, Portland, 45. You guys are all seeing the precip there. Lots of clouds for San Francisco, 58 and lovely in LA. San Diego, 57 degrees. Oh, I did want to keep you guys updated. Allow me to switch something off quickly. And I think I did this for you guys last time. Let me see if I get this right. No, I did not. I might have it right now. Display. Here we go. Okay. I might have it. Okay. Looks like we have what's referred to as the Sandy fire. I'm just going to have to read it to you guys. Sorry. It's not giving me the right information, and I don't want to get out of my space here. As you can see, what happens whenever I move this guy. Okay, here we go. I think we're settled again. Yeah. Okay, just let me know, guys, that you can see everything. Because you can see I'm flipping back and forth through a lot of graphics and a lot of data in real time. So this Sandy fire, so far, 22 acres burned, Monterey County. It was started at 12:59 p.m. today. CAL FIRE San Benito Monterey unit. No teams have been assigned, under investigation. Big Sandy Road and Indian Valley Road, northeast of Valentin. Status reports. Let's see. Why did I do that? That took forever. Okay, hang on. Let's see if we can get a good look at that. Can we get a good look at it? No, I'm looking at the images right now, and the images aren't spectacular. Okay, we're at 23.4 acres. So that's called the Sandy Fire in Monterey, California. All right. That was yet to be contained, only at 20%, 23 acres burned. But I wanted to make sure I kept you guys up to date on the fires. Mountain fire. Looks like they scaled back a little bit. 98% contained, 19,904 acres, still a lot. I don't think they ever came up with the cause, still under investigation. That always makes me wonder. Doesn't that make you wonder when they don't figure out the cause? Huh? Huh? Again. Okay. Again. Doge. We need Doge on the scene. Doge. We need Doge on the scene, 911, because we want to know what caused that, because we're definitely paying for that as taxpayers. And we also want to be sure that we are staying safe and we're keeping you guys safe. You have to understand, I don't know if you guys were with me when I covered this live, but we had I think at one point, we had hundreds of people watching. They were all looking at the air quality and then the poor visibility that our poor firefighters had to deal with. So it's under investigation, but I would like to know. I personally would like to know what caused it. So I'm calling on Doge to get that information. Current conditions for San Diego, 57 degrees. Phoenix, 63. Oh, let's look at Dallas, 71. Let's look at Odessa, 63. Look at the cold front. Are you guys seeing that? Houston, 77. Alpine, 57. And look at the storms. Are you seeing this? All right, what do we think is triggering that? There's your area of low pressure. There is your frontal boundary. Look at that line of delineation. Let's head on over to the Tennessee Valley, Nashville at 59, Louisville 58, Indianapolis 58, rain, Pittsburgh 47, Buffalo 51, Detroit with rain 55 to you, a pair of fives in Detroit is what I meant to say. 51 for Baltimore, 50 for Philadelphia, New York, 54, New Hey, 52, 52 for Boston. And hey, Montreal, they've got really great fashion. Let's shout out to Montreal, our neighbors to the north, 41 degrees. They have the best fashion. They really do. Okay. Jacksonville, 63, Miami, 76, Mobile, 70. Remember Mobile. Tomorrow, we're going to be watching what's happening in your neck of the woods, especially. You might be getting some strong storms. New Orleans at 72. Who else? Hotlanta at 59. And Little Rock, you guys, we're going to be watching you too, Little Rock, over the next couple of hours tonight, 67 degrees. Let's go back to why I'm saying that, right? You're like, Erika, what's going on? Why are you saying all that? I'm like, because we've been tracking these storm cells, right? So once again, let's go through our day 1, day 2, day 3 SPC updates. Look at that, what's happening. Day 2, day 3. All right, that's when I was talking about mobile. All right. Okay, here again is our beautiful setup brought to you by Mother Nature herself. Look, we're still having some aridity issues over in New England. We're going to get to that. I mean, the next time we meet up, probably take a break. We'll talk about that. I'll reposition our maps, and then we'll talk about that some more. We have lots of winter weather alerts up and along the Sierras, right? Let's see here. Here we go. This is a freeze watch, winter storm warning. We also have a winter weather advisory and another winter storm warning issued by the National Weather Service. Remember, we're going to be tracking these storms right here over the next couple of hours, because I wouldn't be surprised if we start tracking some strong storms over the next few hours, all right? Well, I'm meteorologist Erika Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community, and I will be back with some more updates, leaving you right now with some really great updates on what's happening across the nation in real time, what we're looking at as far as the potential for some stronger storms, the convective outlook over the next 3 days, and of course, the potential for that area of low pressure, associated frontal boundary, and then that next Pacific Northwest storm to trigger some strong active weather across the nation, whether it's a lot of snow or some strong storms that could become tornadic. We're going to keep you updated. We've been going for about 34 minutes. I'm certified broadcast meteorologist Erika Martin. Skywarn storm spotter, over 185,000 miles under my belt. My husband makes me say this all the time. Weather Ready Nation ambassador, because he says I've worked really hard and I earned it.